All right, so now we're on page 167. We're looking at hallucinogens, which are psychedelic drugs that evoke sensory images in the absence of sensory input, so they cause hallucinations. All right, so the first one is LSD, lysergic acid diethylamide, which is a powerful hallucinogenic drug, also known as acid. It was invented by accident by Albert Hofmann in 1938. So these acid trips they cause visual distortions, detachment from reality. Sometimes it can cause panic. The experiences can range from mild to more severe, from good to bad. Some have can have really bizarre trips. And what can also be really bad for this is that it never really leaves your system. It stays in your cerebral spinal fluid, not cerebral, your spinal fluid. And so years later, I don't know, I just would think that I would have this fear that you would pop your back or something, and maybe while you're driving carpool and you're tripping while you're dropping your kids off at school. That would be terrifying. I don't know if it's quite as simple as that, but just that's terrifying. The next one is marijuana. Now marijuana is obviously the leaves, stems, and flowers from the hemp plant can cause mild feelings of euphoria. Now, I know that it also can be considered a depressant because of the relaxation benefits of it. But it is considered a hallucinogenic because it does have some mild hallucinogenic effects. Right now, it's controversial because, yes, alcohol is legal for those who are over 21, but marijuana is not. It is still considered I think it's, what is it? We talked about this last semester, a class 3 offense or something like that, which is very serious. But it has similar effects as alcohol in certain cases. There are some cases where they're finding that perhaps it may have some medicinal effects for people, with pain and other types of disorders like PTSD. But we're still looking at that. But it's still seen as a controversial drug. So whether or not that's going to be allowed, that's up in the air. Some states, it's a state-by-state basis. Some states are actually allowing it to be used recreationally. But as of now, Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General of the United States, has said that it is illegal. So whether or not the states are going to challenge that is to be seen. So, if you look on page 169, frequent marijuana users are at higher risk to experience depression and possibly schizophrenia because any altering, as with any of these drugs, any altering, especially with the the heroin, the opiates, because those affect your dopamine levels, methamphetamine, those kinds of things. Even with marijuana, these kinds of things, if you mess with your neurochemistry, these could be, especially if you have a family history of schizophrenia, these could be a trigger for you to develop schizophrenia. Pot smoke is harder on your lungs than cigarette smoke. usually because there's no filter in the cigarette. You lose brain cells. Memory can be impaired. And it seems to suppress the immune system, making it harder to fight off illnesses. So just take all that into consideration. Just stay away from drugs. Don't forget to watch the links on this page.